Hello, welcome to another episode of Wild Living with Sunny. I'm joining you from northern Minnesota on the White Earth Reservation for the second annual Wild Food Summit. It's an amazing gathering of people who come together to identify, harvest, and prepare wild food plants, in addition learning about their medicinal and useful values as well. I would really encourage folks to get out there. It's summer festival season. Attend different events around the country. They're usually inexpensive, family-friendly events where you can get out and learn how to live in harmony and live in beauty with this amazing planet Earth.
I'm Zan, and I learned about plants.
Cool. What kind of plants did you learn about?
Ones that you can eat.
I'm Elaine Zarzana. I'm coming from Earthrise Farm in Madison, Minnesota, and we've been pulling thistles non-stop for 3 weeks and leaving them as mulch, and I just found out we can eat them.
My name is Chaska Keo, and today I learned how to use cattails for food.
My name is Dan Halsey, and the thing that I kind of learned was just confirming things I had read and I had kind of seen, but to actually see it for real kind of puts it in my head. So the pit for cooking the meat was really interesting to actually see one, or to see the plants that I've seen in a book, but now I can pick them out, and I've learned them.
Greetings, my name is M.J. Matson, biologist, archaeologist, and woodsman. Welcome to the North Country. What we're going to be doing today is a pit fire. I have already constructed the pit. This pit is about 18 inches deep, approximately 2 by 3 feet long, and lined with basically what you'd call field cobblestone, in this case collected from a lake. Now when you're collecting your stones for lighting a pit fire, it is most advisable to stick with either a limestone type material, or in this case granitic type material. Try to avoid sedimentary materials such as siltstone or slate. What we're doing now is we've got the fire going, and I'm going to build this up as rapidly as I can. I'm going to add as much large, hard, high-density hardwoods as possible in the initial fire. It takes a long time for some of this larger stock to burn down, and so we want to get a real hot fire and get it burning real uniformly so that we can reduce our larger pieces of material to a uniform bed of coals. We really don't want a smoldering log in there. We want a bed of fractured, glowing coals. You can see the layer of burdock leaves that's been laid. And of course, these leaves are sealing the joints in between the covering plates.
What do you use for covering plates?
Well, generally, if they're available, I use large flat rocks. Because of the glacial till structure here, we don't have any of those. We need, basically sedimentaries. And so you can either use, yeah, don't sit there, saplings, nice smooth like aspen popple saplings, tightly packed together and then covered with our leaves and so on. Or in this case, I just brought some chunks of sheet metal, just some scrap stuff I had around. fall apart. But this is woods cooking, you know. So don't be too hard. Really? How long does this cook for? Like 3 hours? This cook, yeah, this is about 3.5 hours.
How do you adjust your time? For something bigger, you would cook it longer?
No, a little bit, yeah, but basically, the fire will only run about 4 hours. And you can't overcook, you can't burn it, well, unless you built a huge fire. I mean, a fire of this size. Actually, you know, it's relative to your pit.
You left the coals in there.
Exactly.
Hi, I'm Nora, and I learned that you can make a lemonade kind of substitute out of sumac berries, and I'm going to try it this summer.
Sam Thayer. This weekend I learned that if you slap a slippery elm leaf, it'll stick to your wrist. Sort of a way to think about foods and what's edible at any particular time of year that I call following the calories through the season. The plant moves its calories around and does different things with them, and every time of year, in the spring, the calories are going into new growth, and so that's what you eat. Later, it's going into, flowers, and the flowering portions are what you eat, and then the fruiting portions. And then when plants go dormant, they put their energy back into their roots, and or underground organs, and then that's the part you eat. And there's a few plants where all these parts are edible, and you can follow them through the seasons, and Salsify is one of those. Every part of this plant is edible as long as it's tender, and here's the cool part, every part is really good. It's not just edible, it's delicious. So you can eat the young shoots and the young growth and the young leaves earlier in the spring. You can eat the flower buds and the flowers this time of year. And then later in the late summer and fall, when they die, or the tops die back and the plants go dormant, you can eat the roots. They have the taproot is very much shaped like a parsnip. It's very wide and strongly tapering. When you see that fluffy head on Salsify, and it looks white, come up to it up close, pick one seed off, and look at that inverted umbrella tuft on top of that seed. Hold it up so the sun shines on it, and it sparkles, and it is gold. It is the color of gold, and it just sparkles. It is one of the coolest looking things that I've ever seen.
Well, I've got another thing for you then. If you take a lamb's quarter leaf and put it in water, and look on the underside, it's silver.
Yeah.
It's like a mirror. It's really
That's
good.
really cool. I've
So when are you digging the roots?
usually September, October, or into November.
You have to hold it up.
No, you just have to look in the end of it. The fluff is like this. It's like an inverted umbrella. And so you just hold.
Can you say your name?
I'm Jessian.
And I'm Teresa. I'm Jessian's mom. And we're from White Earth Reservation. And we learned lots of uses for burdock. And we learned that we like to eat burdock, so we won't be killing the burdock in our yard anymore. We'll be having it for dinner.
My name is Sherry, and I learned that you can make a hat out of cockleburs.
So the Wild Food Summit is a 3-day event. We've got roughly about 60 people here, and I wanted to show you how much garbage that many people generated. Isn't that amazing? 50 to 60 people or more generating, less than probably one full bag once packed of garbage for a 3-day event. It's amazing. I'm so proud of us. We did a great job. And I would really encourage you, if you're organizing an event, to really keep into consideration that it's not that hard for people to wash a couple dishes.
Miigwech, miigwech, ni show my son. Miigwech, miigwech,